academic progress? How is my child performing in each subject? Does my child actively participate in class discussions? What specific areas does my child excel in academically? Are there any subjects where my child needs extra help? How does my child compare to the expected grade level standards? Have you noticed any improvement or decline in my child's performance? Does my child complete assignments and projects on time? Are there any learning gaps that need to be addressed? How well does my child understand and retain new concepts? Are there any recommended resources for extra practice at home? How often do you assess students' understanding of the material? Is my child able to follow lessons effectively? How does my child handle problem-solving and critical thinking tasks? Does my child show curiosity or interest in learning new things? Are there any enrichment programs available for my child? What strategies do you use to help struggling students? Does my child respond well to constructive feedback? How do you support students who need additional challenges in class? Are there any upcoming assessments I should prepare my child for? What are some key academic goals my child should focus on this term? Behavior and social skills. How does my child behave in the classroom? Does my child listen and follow instructions well? Have there been any behavioral concerns with my child? How does my child interact with classmates? Does my child show respect to teachers and peers? Have you noticed any signs of bullying either as a victim or participant? Does my child exhibit any signs of shyness or difficulty making friends? Is my child able to resolve conflicts with classmates appropriately? Does my child work well in group projects? How does my child handle criticism or discipline? Have you noticed any mood changes in my child at school? Is my child more reserved or more outspoken in class? How does my child handle frustration or challenges? Does my child show empathy and kindness towards others? Are there any leadership opportunities my child could participate in? Have there been any incidents where my child needed disciplinary action? Does my child ask for help when needed? How can I help reinforce good behavior at home? Does my child follow classroom rules and routines consistently? Have you observed any anxiety or stress-related behaviors in my child? Homework and study habits. Does my child complete homework regularly and on time? How much time should my child spend on homework daily? Is my child struggling with any particular type of homework? How well does my child apply classroom learning to homework assignments? Do you offer additional support for students who need homework help? What can I do to encourage better study habits at home? Are there specific resources my child can use to improve study skills? Does my child work independently on assignments, or does she need extra guidance? What strategies do you recommend for test preparation? Are there any patterns of procrastination or avoidance in my child's work? How do you handle late or missing homework? Are homework assignments reinforcing what is taught in class? How can I help my child develop better organizational skills? Does my child struggle with focus and concentration while studying? Are assignments adjusted to fit different learning styles? How do you provide feedback on homework assignments? What tools or apps do you recommend for better study habits? How do you accommodate students who have difficulty completing homework? Are there any additional assignments my child can do for extra credit? What is the biggest challenge you see students facing with homework? Communication and parent involvement. What is the best way to communicate with you if I have concerns? How often do you provide progress updates to parents? Are there parent-teacher meetings scheduled throughout the year? Do you use any online platforms to track student progress? How can I stay updated on my child's school activities? Do you send home newsletters or important reminders? How do you handle parent concerns or feedback? Can I volunteer in the classroom or for school events? What can I do at home to reinforce what my child learns in class? Do you recommend any educational activities or programs outside of school? How do you support parent involvement in their child's learning? How can I help create a stronger connection between home and school? Are there any workshops or training sessions for parents? How do you address parent concerns regarding their child's progress? What steps can parents take if they notice their child struggling? How can parents collaborate with teachers to support student success? Do you provide regular behavioral reports to parents? How can parents support school initiatives at home? Is there a way for parents to communicate with other teachers if needed? How can I be more engaged in my child's academic journey? Special needs or learning challenges. Do you think my child has any learning difficulties? How do you identify students who may need additional academic support? What interventions are available for students who struggle? Are there any specialized programs for children with learning differences? How do you support students with ADHD, dyslexia, or other conditions? Does my child need an individualized education plan, IEP, or extra tutoring? What strategies do you use to accommodate different learning styles? Have you noticed any difficulties with reading, writing, or comprehension? Is my child's attention span affecting their learning? What signs should I look for at home regarding learning difficulties? How can I work with the school to support my child's needs? Do you offer special accommodations for test taking? Are there additional support staff, counselors, special education teachers available? Have there been concerns about my child's focus and engagement in lessons? What assistive technology or tools are available for struggling students? How does the school track students with learning challenges? What are the next steps if my child is officially diagnosed with a learning disability? How do you differentiate instruction for students with special needs? Are peer support or mentoring programs available? What additional resources should I explore to help my child? Emotional well-being and motivation. Does my child seem happy and engaged at school? Have you noticed any signs of stress or anxiety in my child? How does my child handle challenges and setbacks? Does my child appear confident in their abilities? How does my child react to constructive criticism? Have there been any noticeable mood changes in my child? Does my child participate in class enthusiastically? How does my child cope with pressure from schoolwork or peers? Have there been any instances where my child seemed emotionally distressed? Are there social or peer-related issues affecting my child's well-being? How can I help my child build more resilience and confidence? Does my child seek help when feeling overwhelmed? Are there school counseling services available for students? What strategies do you use to encourage a positive learning environment? How do you support students who feel discouraged or unmotivated? Have you observed any instances of my child being bullied or excluded? Does my child express their emotions in a healthy way at school? How can I encourage my child to have a positive attitude towards learning? Are there specific activities that help boost my child's self-esteem? How do you recognize and celebrate students' achievements in class? Future readiness and development. How well is my child developing skills for the next academic level? What are the key skills my child should focus on for future success? How can I help my child become more independent in their learning? Are there leadership opportunities my child can take on at school? What career guidance or exposure does the school provide? Does my child show any particular talents or strengths that should be nurtured? How well does my child handle responsibility and decision-making? Are there any extracurricular activities that could benefit my child's growth? How can I support my child in setting and achieving long-term goals? What are some essential life skills my child should develop now? How does my child handle teamwork and collaboration in projects? Are there any special programs or clubs that align with my child's interests? What kind of reading materials or subjects would benefit my child's future development? How does the school help students develop critical thinking skills? Are there any enrichment activities that could prepare my child for higher education? Does my child demonstrate problem-solving skills in class? How can I encourage a growth mindset in my child? What strategies can I use to teach my child about time management? Are there any volunteer or community service opportunities for students? What resources or programs do you recommend to help my child explore future career options?